everybody, it's Mike DeLisio with another Dice Tower Daily Unboxing. Well, one of the more popular games of the last year or so is Disney's Villainous. And here we have the latest expansion, Perfectly Wretched. And you can see from the silhouette there that Cruella de Vil will be playing a major role in this expansion. Also take note that this particular edition has an game piece that's exclusive to Target, so depending upon where you get your copy of the game, you may or may not see that piece. So this has a sleeve that I will remove. Like many of these recent Ravensburger games that are being sold in many of the Target stores, it's not shrink wrapped. It has the little pieces of tape around the outside, so I'm just going to slice those right away. Now, this, like the other expansion, is both a standalone game, or you can mix and match with other villains, with the base game of Villainous, or with the other expansion, which the name of is escaping me right now. Which villain are you? Are you Pete, Cruella de Vil, or Mother Gothel? This is going to probably show my ignorance. I'm not familiar with this character. I probably should be, but I'm not, so I may be mispronouncing that character's name. Take on the role of a Disney villain striving to achieve your devious objective. All right, so like in Villainous, you are the villains trying to fulfill different objectives to win the game. So here are the instructions. Take on the role of a Disney villain. To win, you must explore your character's unique abilities and discover how to achieve your own story-based objective. Each villain guide will inspire you with strategies and tips. So it's a bit of an asymmetric game where different villains are going to have to do different things to be successful in the game. So here we've got a quick look over the rule book. You've got the components. You've got the three major villains that are contained within, boards that go along with them, and cards that go along with them. You've got villain decks and fate decks for all three of the villains, and also a villain guide for each of the three villains. Okay. Here you've got the setup, where it explains how you set up the play space. It describes your realm, which is your own player board, and the cards that are contained within your player board. And it explains the basic rule set of the game, where you move your villain, perform actions, and then draw cards. That's the structure of the game round, and depending on which villain you have, you're going to have different types of actions that are available to you, okay? And this describes some of the main actions: gaining power, which is kind of a currency for the game, playing a card, activating, moving an item or ally, moving a hero, fate, vanquish, discarding cards. And then you've got the different types of cards, okay? Effect cards, ally cards, hero cards. If you've played Villainous or any of the other expansions, you'll have a pretty good idea on how this works. Item cards and condition cards. Then you've got a reference here, and now thankfully, I can remember that the first two expansions were Wicked to the Core and Evil Comes Prepared. All right, and it describes how you can mix and match the games, and it says with this, you can play with up to 6 players by just making some adjustments to the rules if you've got the extra expansions involved. All right, also a FAQ in the back, which is nice. In a game like this where you have some asymmetric powers, there oftentimes can be some rule questions that come up. So let's take a quick look at the villain boards, if I can get them out of their shrink wrap quickly. Here we go. We'll first look at Cruella de Vil, who is probably the star of this expansion, I would say, since she's on the cover. I'll get even. Just wait. You'll be sorry. And it gives her objective here: start your turn with at least 99 captured puppies. Oh, how evil. All right. And we flip this over, and you can get a sense of her board with her locations: Radcliffe House, the Countryside, the Milk Farm, and Hell Hall. All right. Mother Gothel, I hope I'm saying that right. If not, maybe it's Gothel. Either way, I apologize if I've gotten it incorrect. Her objective is to start your turn with at least 10 trust. You want me to be the bad guy? Fine. Now I'm the bad guy. We've got Rapunzel's Tower, the Snuggly Duckling, the Forest, and Corona. Okay. And then finally, Pete, the very first, I believe, of the Disney villains here. Pete's objective is to complete the 4 selected goals. I'm going to knock you right into next week. All right, and we flip this over, and we've got Frontier Town, the service station, the airport, and Podunk Landing. All right, so there are your player boards. Take a look at this is a Mother Gothel component here, Rapunzel. It's a cardboard tile, all right, a hero. And then we've got villain guides for the 3 villains contained within. And then we've got a player aid for the action symbols and the villain objectives for all 3 of the villains included within the expansion/game. Let's take a look at these pieces. These are usually quite beautiful. Let's see if these continue the trend here. This is going to be the Mother Gothel piece. It would almost have to be. All right, you can see translucent plastic. These are always nice. They're kind of stylized depictions of the different villains. They're usually not exactly minis per se. This might be the Target exclusive piece. I'm not sure. This is clearly the Cruella de Vil piece. All right, kind of that black and white mixture there. And then here we have the Pete piece, which is a nice kind of slightly abstract representation of Pete from Steamboat Willie. All right, very nice, hefty pieces. We've got card decks for each of the 3. We've got some pre-punched cardboard components I'll give you a quick look at. All right. We've got our, power tokens here, kind of the main currency of the game in some ways. There we go. And we've got some other various and sundry. These are some Pete location, or no, these are Cruella de Vil. These are some puppies, I think. Countryside, Hell Hall, the milk farm. I'm going to assume maybe this is 11 puppies here, because you have to have 99 for her to be successful. So I've got to assume that these are different amounts of puppies. All right, and we've got some goals. These, I think, are for Pete. He had to complete some goals. Start your turn with allies totaling 10 or more strength at this location. Win big. Gain at least 4 power from play a game at this location. So I believe that Pete's objective was to try to get some of those completed. All right, let's take a look at some of the cards here. We'll look at Pete's deck first, and I'll go through these relatively quickly. But it's always nice to get a look at the art, because the art is such a huge part of the appeal of this game. These are in black and white, which is a really cool touch, I think, to do Pete in black and white, since the cartoon, the Steamboat Willie cartoon, was in black and white. All right, you've got some heroes here, some effects. Hey, there's Donald. Old school Donald. Look at that. Donald does not look like that nowadays. There's Mickey. Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Minnie. Goofy. That wasn't very good. All right, here we got some more cards. All right. Very nice looking cards. I do like this black and white. It contrasts really well with the other cards in the game. Let's take a look at Cruella de Vil's deck. Here we've got some of our puppies flying the coop here. Anita and Roger, Nanny, Captain, Twilight Bark, Sergeant Tibbs. Oh, there's Pongo. And the Colonel. And here you've got those evil Cruella cards. Oh, there you go. The art on this is just spectacular, as you would expect in a Disney IP game. All right, so those are very nice. And then finally, we'll look at Mother Gothel and her deck. Flynn Rider. I am not familiar with this film. Obviously, this does not have quite as much of a connection with me, but for many of you, I'm sure this is a beloved favorite, and these cards will mean a lot to you and trigger some nostalgia. Regardless, you don't have to know the film to enjoy the game or enjoy playing as that villain, I would assume. All right, well, there you have a pretty good idea on what's inside the box of Villainous, Perfectly Wretched. Thank you for watching another Dice Tower Daily Unboxing.
Thanks so much for watching another Dice Tower video. If you enjoy our videos, subscribe to the channel for more fun, comprehensive board game coverage. Also, consider joining us at one of our events. Come to Dice Tower Retreat, a small, intimate gathering where gaming is king. Join us for Dice Tower Cruise, the largest board game cruise. Attend Dice Tower West in Las Vegas for gaming fun on the West Coast, or Dice Tower East in Orlando in sunny Florida. Dice Tower Conventions, the friendliest gaming conventions on Earth. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching the Dice Tower.